All right, guys. This one's actually going to be a cool session because I'm going to be away. This is my last stream for about a month and a half. Again, a quick update. After the 15th of this month, I'm going to be unreachable. If you have any of my positions that you are in spot, you will have to make your own, you know, decisions. I won't be able to update anything. I have no service for about a month and a half. And I'll do a stream when I get back October or the week of October 15th or the week after. All right. So let's jump into it. Um, let's talk about the markets. Okay. So I've been yelling that I've been bearish ever since we broke 67 or 66K. I'm still bearish, but let me give you guys my look on the markets. So high time frame. Now I'm talking about the weekly time frame. I am neutral bullish. Okay, but low time frame. Talking about the daily, anything below, I am ultra bearish, like bearish as fuck. Okay, I do not think that the lows are in, but I do not think that the Bitcoin. I'm only speaking on Bitcoin here, but I do not think the Bitcoin market has topped. All right. I do think that other alts, about 80% or 60 to 80%, have topped for this cycle, and I'll explain why. But there are going to be coins that are outliers, so I'll be giving examples from last cycle and to this cycle, and I will be talking about how much I hate Sol, as I always do. But before I start, let's take a look at the stock market really quickly, and this is not credit to me. I saw someone post this. I thought it was really interesting, so I did my own analysis on it, and I'm going to be showing it. All right. So if we take a look at the stock market, okay, and we go back to 2000 to the previous financial crash, okay. So the stock market highs, S&P or SPX, okay, 1500, and this was before the financial crash of 2008. Okay, so we took out the highs. Okay, we created an SFP, and then we dumped. This was the crash, and then the greatest president of all time, Obama, took over, and then we continued to run up. Right now, here we are, having the same price action kind of forming. Okay, we are about 2% away from all-time highs. Okay. Meanwhile, the Bitcoin market is dumping. Or sorry, the crypto market is dumping. Okay. When I talk about coins and markets, each coin is its own market. Each coin has its own ecosystem. So I'm talking about crypto as a whole. We are 2% away from all-time highs with the S&P. Meanwhile, we are, in a downtrend ever since on Bitcoin and the crypto market. All right. So what is to happen if we take out these highs and then we just dump from here, or let's just say recession happens in the next 2 to 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, however long it takes. Stock market goes down. What happens with the crypto markets? Now, I was not functioning back in 2008. I was only fucking 12 years old. But it's very concerning that the stock market is up, but crypto markets are down, right? So either we are, or the stock market is lagging, right, and going to be following crypto, or crypto is lagging and will eventually get that leg up, which I do think will happen. This Q4 into Q1 and Q2, or end of Q1, beginning of Q2 to Q3 is when I think the cycle top happens, and then we go back into a bear market. All right. So looking at this, I'm looking for a move up just like 2007, 2008, take out the highs, and then come back down. All right. This most likely will take, now this is a daily chart, this probably will take a few months to happen. If we can just consolidate here a little bit, even come back down, and then go up from there and then crash. All right. I do think a recession is on the boards for next year, and people are going to blame it on Kamala. People are going to blame it on fucking Biden, Trump, whatever. I do not think it's any of that. We've just been, since COVID, been putting too much money and too much deficit, printing useless bullshit, right? And all of that stems from Trump. Okay. Now, let's take a look at Bitcoin. Okay. So downtrend, currently low time frame. We took this long. All right. Great place to long. It was an order block. It's also range lows here. We actually bounced right perfectly from the 786, and I'm looking for a move back up to these range highs on a lower time frame, to 61.5, 62k max, and then I'd be looking to short again back down to new lows from there. Now, higher time frame. Let me go to a clean chart. Okay. We are still in this parallel channel. We've been rejecting perfectly from the mid channel or the mid range of this parallel channel. Liquidity has been grabbed from this daily demand zone, and nothing has changed. I mean, you can call it ranging, you can call it whatever you want. We are in a downtrend. We are making, right, lower lows, lower highs, however you want to see it. It has not changed. And, theoretically, we go back down to make a new lower low. I am not bullish until, do I have this chart here? Okay. I know it's a lot of lines, right? I am not bullish until the 65k level here, or the 64.65k level, is flipped to support. If that happens, we should go back to range highs. But for me to be super bullish, we need a clean break above this and then consolidation. All right? I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about clean move above, consolidate for a little bit, allow alts to catch up, and then we run from there. Okay? Now, back to Bitcoin. Okay? I've spoke about this multiple times in videos on YouTube, my analysis on my channel, but if 50 to 53k is not held, we are looking at this. Okay, whoops. We are looking at this weekly demand zone next. Okay, that is the 40 to 44k level. All right, now, when I say that I am neutral bullish, we can go down there from here, okay, and still be in an uptrend. So this is perfectly fine. We can come back down here and we're perfectly fine. I'd rather not. I'd rather stay above 50 to 55k. 50 to 53k. But if that happens, we are okay. All right, there's just gonna be a lot of bids. Now, you may see as soon as we break 50k, you may see a capitulation wick, just like we did here, right? That wick was like 9k after that major level was lost. Once this level is lost, either we have a capitulation wick into this demand zone, grab the liquidity. It can also be a deeper one into maybe 36k. A lot of people are saying that we go and clear these lows here. I can't see that happening. Unless it's an aggressive sell-off. But if this level is lost, I probably think we consolidate a little bit, have this wick into here, and then have a V reversal like we did back here, right? So weekly levels, plot this out in your charts, 40 to 44k, very important level. You will only bid that if you don't want to have bids right now. You will only bid that if the 50k region is lost, all right? And we can, bounce from this trend line, be super bullish still on a higher time frame. But if we close below the trend line and then we start consolidating under it, right? If we start consolidating under here, and then keep rejecting, then I think that the top is in for the cycle unless we put in a clean reclaim very fast. And this is a weekly chart, keep in mind. put in a reclaim above this trend line very fast, but the longer we stall under it, the more we will go lower. All right. Now, back to low time frame. Okay. So, low time frame, right? We have our range clearly marked. We had a deviation. We had a deviation here, and we broke back below. As long as we don't reject these range lows and close back above, we have another reclaim of here. We should go higher. Now, stock markets today took a huge tumble. Crypto's actually holding off pretty well. The strongest coin, and it's very weird, is ETH compared to Bitcoin. Okay. Yesterday we had this bullish engulfing candle. If we can stay above this level here, right, I can see us going back to range highs. Right? And that's pretty good for me. That's about, at this current price, it's about a 13% move. This should send Bitcoin to around 62, 62.5K. And I do think, ETH does hold well here. Now, I don't want to get in. I mean, I'm already in ETH right now, but if you are looking to buy, this would be your buy zone. I posted this before, and I'll post it again. No need to share my Bitcoin chart because it's in my channel. It was the long that we gave. If you are looking to buy ETH, your buy zone is from 23.25 down to 19.20. That's where you want to buy. And honestly, if this $1,900 level is lost, then ETH is forever fucked. Okay? I can keep drawing this as back as we want. Okay? It was previously resistance. Again, deviation, resistance. Broke out, flipped it to support, and then now we're running. Okay, so this level needs to hold. Otherwise, this is just a huge deviation back into previous range, which is going to be bearish as fuck. Okay, the target for the bear flag hasn't been reached yet, but again, they're technical targets, doesn't mean it's going to be reached. That's where your buy zones should be, and those should be your final buys for ETH for the cycle. Anything below that turn into resistance. In my opinion, you should be cutting, and then you can add more if we reclaim, if it's lost, right? Reclaim this level, puts in a deviation, then you can buy for upside. Now, I want to speak on DCAing and over diversification in this market. All right, I posted this in the other servers that I'm in, but a lot of people do not understand how to diversify their portfolios. All right, what do I mean by this? Let's say you have a $10,000 portfolio. All right, about 60% of that should be in large caps and mid caps. Okay, so Bitcoin, ETH, and let's say whatever reason you're sick in the head, you want to have SOL in your portfolio, that is a large cap. Okay, so basically top 50 coins should be about 60% of your portfolio. If you are a leverage trader, 10% of that should be in futures, no more than 10%. About 90% of you are degens, and mostly all of your portfolio is in leverage. All right, in my opinion, only 10%, and you should have at least 15 to 20% of your funds available in cash at all times to buy. Now, what happens if you use the cash? This is why you have a long-term and a short-term trading port. You have to, differentiate between your long-term investments and your short-term portfolio. I have my long-term investments that I have not sold. They're sitting in a cold wallet. I am not touching it until I think the cycle is over. And then you have your short-term trading portfolio. This consists of all the day trades that you're making that's separate from your leverage account and your long-term ports. You're taking profit, keeping it in cash. using some of the cash to compound into other coins, and you're just playing that circle of life with these coins over and over again. All right. If you do not have your long-term separated from your short-term portfolio, I highly suggest to do so. It will make everything much easier and less stressful, in my opinion. So that's why I always suggest having 15 to 20% in cash. You sell, rinse, repeat, buy everything from that point in your short-term portfolio. All right. 5 to 10% of your portfolio should be in low caps and micro caps. Okay. A lot of people from other servers are heavily invested in these low cap coins because they're online gurus, crypto Twitter, crypto banter bullshit people have told them to buy these coins, and they think they're going to get 50 to 100x portfolio returns, right? Not going to happen. If you put in... Crypto banter is a fucking retard. If you put in... One sec. All right. If you had just put in, let's say you have, again, $1,000 portfolio, and I just mentioned 5 to 10% of that should be in, small and micro caps. If you put in $100, and we can do math here, okay, just 10% of your portfolio at the lows. Okay, let's just make it realistic. Let's just say 18 cents here. Okay, so you take your total allocation divided by the purchase price. Okay, you have that many coins, and let's say you sold the Pico top at $4.90. Okay, your $100 is worth, I mean, I could have done the math here, but some people are visual, $2,722. Okay, now what happens if you put, now let's talk about the cycle of crypto really quickly. All right, the cycle of crypto is this here. Okay, BTC runs the show first, as it should. BTC rally happens first. Then you have profits moving into ETH and other large caps afterwards. Profits flow from that to mid caps, then to small caps and shitcoins. Shitcoins are micro caps. Okay. So if we take a look at previous run that Bitcoin had, nice, our longs are doing well. So basically, this run in February, when Bitcoin ran from 52 all the way to 73 in a matter of almost less than a month. Okay, actually a month exactly, February 24th, and the top was March 24th. All right, in a month it did that, and then look what happened after. So yes, Bitcoin dipped, but let's take a look at ETH. Okay, we came back down. This ran the same amount of time, right? Yes, ETH and other coins are going to run with Bitcoin, but when Bitcoin came back down, ETH had a higher ROI than Bitcoin did. All right, so the profits flow from Bitcoin into these other coins. For example, right, like Sol. When we came back down, right, 58%. So if you have your portfolio diversified as such, and you wait for Bitcoin to run and wait for it to retrace or consolidate, then you focus on these altcoins, you're going to do well. Now, don't be stuck or don't have this, hard-headed conclusion that your coins are going to do 10x or 15x, right? My suggestion to you guys is take profits when you are happy, and ask yourself, would you be comfortable with round tripping your profits, right? So if you made 60% gains on your portfolio and prices were to come back down to your break-even prices, all right, can you stomach that? Are you okay with that? If the answer is no, then you should take profits at whatever levels you are happy with. Now, for my long-term investors, let's say you get into a coin, for example, Sol right now, right? And let's say for some reason Sol goes to $500 and does a 3x. Okay, at that point, my strategy, whenever something does 3x or at least a 2x, I if it 2x's, I will trim a little bit of my portfolio or a little bit of my initial capital and keep that, there. So it becomes a little bit risk free. When my coins do 3x, I take out my initial capital completely and I ride free coins. I was not here in Unity during the lows of 22 and 23, but when I was buying the lows that time, I bought Bitcoin at 17K, I bought Sol at 20K, 20K, at $20. When these did 3x, I took out my initial capital and I rotated into something else. So every long-term investment that I'm in, it's risk-free, okay? Even my beloved Ondo coin. I got into it at 22 cents. When it went to $70, I took out my initial capital. The rest is just free. I have not sold my long-term investments, but my trading portfolio, my short-term portfolio, yes, I do trade. I do sell profits for 10 to 15% gains, and then I rotate into something else. So this is why it's important to have your long-term and your short-term portfolio separated, because you will have no emotions trading these 10 to 15% gains while having your long-term portfolio continue to compound those gains. All right? So that's my first advice to you. My non-financial advice to you is to separate your long-term and your short-term investments. Second, my third and final thing here regarding the markets is don't have a bias in the market, okay? We are in a bull market. We have been in a bull market ever since 25K was broken, okay? The markets have done multiple X's, all right? Whether it's Sol, whether it's ETH, whatever, from their lows, all right? Everyone's talking about this alt season that's, going to be happening eventually, but they fail to realize that these markets have already had multiple alt seasons in different sectors already, right? We just had a meme coin alt season. Dog with a hat, Peppy, Bonk, all these shit, Popcat, right? All these shit coins did multiple X's already, right? That was the meme coin alt season. We already had a RWA alt season, right? Like Ondo went from 20 cents, Rio, all these coins did multiple X's, okay? Link, Sol, all these from their lows did 10, 15x already, okay? If we take a look at Sol from $21 to its highs, right, it did a almost 10x, right? So people are talking about alt season, they're expecting 5x, 10x from their coins. It's just unrealistic, okay? Alt season means that dominance is falling from Bitcoin and going into altcoins, all right? Bitcoin dominance is decreasing. That's what alt season means. It does not mean that your coin's going to guarantee do a 3 to 5x, all right? So if you are following Crypto Banter, if you are following people on Twitter, if you are part of different groups that do give calls, right? I suggest you don't be attached to price predictions. You don't go on Google and type in, is XRP going to $589, right? Be realistic, look at charts, trade the data, trade the charts. I don't believe in fundamental analysis, right? I believe in actually like looking at charts. Like although fundamentals have a huge part of the coins in general, trade technically, trade without emotions. Cut your losses soon without them getting bigger. You can always re-enter lower or wait for confirmation to get into them. All right, so don't attach yourself to any price predictions from anyone, even though they might be reliable. For example, like you're looking at Crypto Kaleo or Cold Blooded Schiller or like Rookie XBT, right? Like these OG crypto people, and they're giving like, hey, Popcat's going to be $1 by the end of July, right? It never was. So people and the comments get upset. You get attached to these prices, they don't hit, you take out your aggression elsewhere, right? So yeah, as it said here, it's all in the charts, trade the charts. Okay, so let's take a look at Sol really quickly. Where did I? So for those that watch my videos religiously, I mentioned this exact play at least 3 times and how I was going to take it. Unfortunately, I did not get my full fill, but 160 is where I said I was going to short, and I took profits. Okay, at the support, we bounced from support. Honestly, I think if Bitcoin goes to that 54, 52K region, alts get hit the hardest, right? Bitcoin dominance goes up, alts go down. I think we can get sub 100 for sure. That's going to be my next take profit. Otherwise, I'm looking to short the market on bounces until I am proven wrong or until market structure changes. So this is the short that I'm in. I would not short here. We're very close to support. But as you guys can see from the support, right, it's getting weaker and weaker every single time. Why? The amount of touches at the support line. Okay, right? We flipped it to, I mean, if I go back here, right? Resistance, broke out, flipped it, right? Flipped it. Bounce from it, bounce from it, bounce, bounce, bounce. We've had like 6 bounces here, recently 7. The more bounces that we get on support, support is weaker, liquidity has been grabbed. But if we start consolidating on support, like if we start consolidating here, okay, in a downtrend, that is bearish. Right? Consolidation under resistance in an uptrend is bullish. Consolidation on support in a downtrend is bearish. This just means buyers are not stepping up, right? Eventually, sellers, just one big order is going to send this down. So keep your eye out for consolidation here. I would not short here, but this is, if we start consolidating for the next, few days or few weeks, this will go down. Okay. One sec. I have to clock out for lunch. Yeah, I'm working. Now, I will show you my short for Sol. I posted it in my channel. And again, any pump on this, I am looking to short. Okay. So for Sol, we have a supply zone here, right? We also have an SR. It was support here. See how we got, all this was support, right? We broke out. We consolidated on support, even though this is a 4-hour time frame. When you have consolidation on support, this is a lower time frame, so it's going to be weaker than a higher time frame. But in a downtrend, it's just going to break through violently, right? I know Bitcoin dumped here as well, but it doesn't matter. The concept still applies. Now, going back to here is a great short opportunity. We have an SR that hasn't been tested, right? So all these people that longed here, okay, had this move down, either they didn't sell or they're slowly dollar cost averaging in this range, okay? These people that didn't sell are placing their sell orders. These would be spot buyers usually, are placing their sell orders back at break even. So if price comes back to break even, it usually rejects. Now this has turned into a supply zone. Okay, there's going to be a lot of short setup here. I don't use any indicators, but there's going to be a lot of short setup here. So taking a small position at entry at the SR point and DCing at the resistance makes sense. And I gave the TPs in my channel, but this is why I'm taking this here. And again, higher time frame, we are still in a downtrend, right? So we actually have broken this bear flag, going back to possibly retest it. Okay, makes sense to me. Now, we might not get a full retest, but hitting that it should give you a nice significant return on a scalp play. Right? So if right now, if you are playing the long game, your longs should be smaller sizing compared to your shorts, but still shorting in a bull market is always uneasy for me. So regardless of shorts or whatnot, my positions are half size on longs currently and half size on shorts currently, right? I'm not a bull tard completely, but we are in a bull market and we can easily reverse at any point in time. So that's why I'm going in with half sizes on shorts, but also we are in a downtrend, so I'm not going to be fully confident in my longs right now. Okay. Other than that, I don't really see any other opportunities for plays. We're going to be chopping for a while. September is historically a terrible month. Stocks opened up terribly. This is the first trading day of the month, so they opened up terribly, and crypto got the leg down as well. Hopefully, we can get some relief. I would love some relief here to 60K, but take it level by level. If we close below 58K on the daily, it's most likely going to be chop fest. So I wouldn't enter any positions right now. If you're not in any positions, don't try to chase for profits. Sometimes the best position is no position at all, and we just have to wait out until price action gives us those triggers to long or short. All right. I will this session, even though I said live trading, I just wanted to do a broader market cap or market recap. So I will be taking suggestions on coins, but I'm not going to be doing, a whole like 15 or 20 coin suggestions. I'm going to be looking for coin suggestions that are actually like strong in the markets, and we'll be taking a look at their Bitcoin pairing and go from there. All right. So whatever suggestions you guys have, go ahead and put it. Please don't feel offended if, for example, Cass is not going to be taking a look at. But let's take a look at like Ondo, sure. We'll take a look at Ave. Ave is strong. We'll take a look at, you guys don't have to put it, but we'll take a look at, what's the coin name? Sui and Say as well. Cass is not a coin that I typically trade. I can take a look at it, but it's not going to be a coin that I typically trade, and it's probably a shitcoin. Right. So we are in Ondo spot positions. Okay, I gave you guys my breakdown of, whoops. Okay, I gave you guys my breakdown of how I entered in these positions, right? So my current average on Ondo is 61.9, almost 62 cents. I do have lower DCAs. This is in a downtrend, so after these DCAs, there's no point of getting into further positions on this. Looking for that moved up to 61K. Hopefully, we can get back to 70 cents from here. Would be a nice, like 15, almost 13% move. But this isn't a giant falling wedge. And although this is like my baby, my highest conviction coin, there has to be a time when you turn super bearish, and that bearish time was when high time frame structure was lost around here, right? We made a lower low, lower high, and then continue to go down. All right. So with Ondo, let's take a clean chart here. I just want to want you guys to understand I'm still in this position. Right. We're going to go to a few different positions. So we have a daily order block here. All right. If you get this, this is a long, in my opinion. I would probably buy spot in this position. I wouldn't have, if you're doing leverage, your stop would definitely not be below that wick. You go to a lower time frame to find support. So probably around 42 cents. Right. And you're going to take it, I mean, when I put these charts, okay, a lot of people ask me like, oh, but your final TP is there. No. You take profits at levels of resistance when you are longing, and you take profits at levels of support when you are shorting. So this tool means absolutely nothing other than that, right? Does not mean my full TP will be there, but if we get this, this would be your setup. But on a lower time frame, okay, this 58 cents support needs to hold. Now, we are just making lower lows and lower highs consistently, so I wouldn't long here. I'd be looking to short every single rip and probably go to a lower time frame to find those setups. This would coincide with my first TP area. Now, some are going to be scalps, some are going to be swing plays. That is an area where I'd be looking to short. Okay. Otherwise, if we go higher, okay, there's a very strong possibility if we reclaim this support, this becomes a deviation, right? We can easily chop our way up to here, reject from here, come back down, back to this range lows. You have an inverse head and shoulders, and then if we are able to break this resistance and flip it, then shit gets interesting. We break out from this falling wedge and then go higher. So we have broken down from this range. We just need to reclaim it. So this would be a scalp play with very low risk and position sizing, and this would be your more of a swing trade. But just keep in mind that we are getting close to resistance, so this could easily blow by. I just don't think Bitcoin has strength in it for it to go back up to 78 cents, at least with haste, without getting met by some rejections. So let me put this in the charts in the chat really quickly. I'm gonna put the 4-hour time frame as well. Okay. Longs, I will not be longing until this previous range low is reclaimed. We put in a deviation, and then your long would look something like this. I can't give you a stop because it hasn't been like created yet. So once we break above, stop somewhere there, something like that. Yes, sir. It lines up perfectly. Nice, Caleb. Okay, let's take a look at CAS. All right. Either this looks like a rising wedge, or this looks like a bearish 3 drive. So what does this look like, or what does a bearish 3 drive mean? I will show you. Let me get Google really quickly. I don't want you guys looking at my porn history. One sec. Alright. So here's a bearish 3 drive pattern, right? It's a parallel channel. Okay. A or 1, A, 2, B, 3, and then here's the sell. That was the sell, right? Typically the sell goes below the B point. So if this was B, sell goes below there. We do have order block. Right? Now that is if it was a bearish 3 drive pattern. Right? Now if this is going to be a rising wedge pattern. Okay, same thing here. One sec. If this breaks below, that is your target. Now, not saying it's going to be happening. This is technical targets. I'm not saying any of those are going to happen. But this, on the 3-day, looks like a bear flag. Right? Here's your range. There's your bear flag target. So everything, to me, points for that order block. All right. So if you're going to be buying this coin anywhere from, round it up, probably like 12.5 cents down to 11.3 cents. It's a range, multiple sides. The support's weaker than the resistance. But if this goes back up to this daily order block, I think it's a very risky but good short take. Risky because it's close to. Is this the all-time high chart? Yes, it is. Damn, I even had this back then. I don't know when I charted this, but there you go. Different chart. Oh wait, shit, it filled. I don't know when I had this, but I guess it filled perfectly. Alright, so short there, tight risk, or you long here, stops below. I just don't see any long opportunities here. If you want a scalp, right, here's your range. It's a risky long, but we're at range lows. Very, very risky long. Back to range highs. TP, TP, and final TP. So if you want to take that, you can. I sure as hell wouldn't. I'm not going to draw this back as a 3 drive, but okay. Ave, however you say that. Very, very strong coin. Never mind, that 3-day looks disgusting. One sec. It was strong. It bounced well. Now, let's take a look at the BTC pairing. Okay, so we had a breakout. We even had the retest. Now we are at a very crucial level for the BTC pairing. Okay, it needs to hold here. If we get back below, it's going to pull Aave down a lot, right? If Aave is not performing well against Bitcoin, in this case, if this daily closes like this, that's terrible. If it closes with a bigger red bar than the green one, it's going to be a bearish engulfing candle. So if it closes bearish and Bitcoin goes down, it's not the Bitcoin pairing is not performing well against Bitcoin, or Aave is not performing well against Bitcoin, and this means this is going to take a huge dump to the downside. Now, where would you possibly want to get long? This demand zone here. Could also go, depends how low Bitcoin goes, right? Bitcoin's king, so have tight stop losses. Uh, perfect rejection. Nope, never mind. I'd short there. Risk to reward isn't great. Short at the golden pocket, DCA at the 786 fib, and then this should bring your average up to like somewhere here, and then you'll have a nice R&R. Otherwise, you long there, back up to there. Low time frame, everything looks like shit, but it's a range, right? So range lows, risky long, but and I'm saying risky because the BTC pairing looks like garbage, but that's your range, right? Supply zone. Tight stop. Okay. Any other coins? I got one or two more in me. Damn. I haven't even checked this chart. Perfect move. All right, let's take a look at still in a downtrend. Not a valid trend line. There we go. Yeah, I posted that count back on my Twitter, I think like 3 months ago. I'll find it. But it did very well. Okay, so let's take a look at Dogecoin here. It's at a very crucial level here. It needs to hold. If it doesn't, you're looking at this support again. Let's go back to the daily. Got a little small demand zone. This need, I mean, if you're gonna risk it for the biscuit here, right? Then this is where you're going long. Stops below. And honestly, you're looking for these highs here. Okay. We're not even at range lows. It's like bring it lower. Very, very tight stops. TP1. TP2. And TP3. Doesn't help that this is... No, it just fucks with my eyes. One sec. That's better. I think I just got an aneurysm. Holy fuck. Okay. Here's Doge. Okay. Ruin. Man, I haven't heard that in a while. This coin still exists. It's a terrible chart. That daily is disgusting. This probably goes lower. Who longed Ruin? It's at a very crucial level. It needs to hold here. One sec. Oh. Let me check. Let me check the BTC pairing. Hmm. The BTC pairing doesn't look that bad. It's just consolidating under resistance here, but that the USDT pairing looks like dog shit. Yeah, I mean, especially that 4-hour close. Yeah, this probably goes lower. We also have a head and shoulders. Hasn't formed yet. Nope, hasn't formed yet, but if this comes back down, closes below, I'd honestly look to short. I can't give stops yet. That hasn't formed. But something like that. Stops will be much closer. Long. Yeah, previous support. Right, it was resistance. We broke out. Haven't tested it. That would be a long. Now, theoretically, if we're taking a look at market structure, right, a lower high is followed by a lower low. So this one would be a risky long, and most likely we go into another lower low. The wave count doesn't make sense either. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One sec. Right, if we're starting the impulse from here, it's missing a fifth wave. Fifth wave probably puts in a bullish divergence. RSI USDT. comes back down, makes another higher low. Even if it's like that, right? Bullish divergence there. It's missing a fifth wave down. So this can go much lower. I wouldn't long ruin. I'm not an Elliott wave expert, but I'm assuming it's missing a fifth wave down. But I'll be putting this. Yep, I agree. Elliott waves are useless. I always hated them because again, it depends, like you said, where you start the count. But here's a tight risk play. Order block, play it there. Right, everyone's gonna think it's a head and shoulders. Maybe we bounce briefly. Entry is literally at the 786 fib. I like that. Lettuce would approve. Ruin. So two separate plays. Let me remove that. And then you have your high time frame swing play. Iffy about this one because it's missing that wave down. Based from where I took it, it's missing that wave down. And I never use indicators, but again, it's always good to check out your confluences. Okay, last coin, AVAX. So let's take a look at it on a weekly. So just like many other coins, it's at a very crucial level. Now, I spoke about previous cycle coins and then how they're not going to perform well compared to the new cycle coins. AVAX is one of those previous cycle coins, right? So very important SR level here. Okay, rejections. We flipped it to support, ran higher, and now we're just hovering here again. Okay, so we need to hold this level on the weekly. Closing below, like, I don't know where it's going to send us because there's not much data outside on lower time frames. First level, daily there. And then it's like there. Yeah. Like very crucial level to hold. It's also a retest of this weird looking falling wedge. Right? I'm not a fan of these type of falling wedges. I like it to be more concise and tight. That's what she said. But it needs to hold here. We have an order block too, right? So if you're longing, this would be your setup. Nah, that's too deep of a. Man, I'm just out here with the puns today. My God, I don't like this. I wouldn't long. If Bitcoin goes down to that lower level, you buy at these support levels. And you sell fuck, you'd be lucky to get. I'll give you a 2x target minimum for now. Alright, there's AVAX for you. Alright, fine. Last coin, injective. This coin is blacklisted for me. I won't trade it. This looks exactly like AVAX. See how previous support levels turn into SR points and then turn into resistance levels? It's exactly what we have here. Another lower high. If you're looking to get into a scalp play, this would be the only place you long. Other than that, like there's nothing. I guess you can long down here. To save for long, you just have to be patient. Just these stop losses are so damn wide, and the R&R isn't great because you need Bitcoin to do well for this to go high. Like, it's hard giving. It's hard giving swings in this environment, so we gotta turn into scalps. Alright. Got a demand zone there. That's probably your setup. Now I'll be looking to short this shit as soon as it gets up to here. For sure. This will be a coin that's not going to make its highs this cycle, by the way. This coin is not going to pull a 4x from here to go back up to 54, whatever the math is. 32, 64. Yeah, about a 4x. Okay. This would be a coin that I'd be looking to short. And this is how much I hate this coin. That my price target is there. Basically, if you haven't figured it out, if the coin isn't Bitcoin, I don't care for it. Yeah. All right. And I'm not a Bitcoin maxi. I just like money, and the money is where Bitcoin is. Injective. But on a higher note, if you do want to buy this on a long-term basis, basically your buy zone is going to be from $14.20 down to $10, right? You do not want it to go below $10, but you know after lower lows and lower highs, you're looking at new lower lows theoretically from a market structure point of view. So that's where you're going to be buying. Yeah, I know there's more data, but I don't really after $10 I don't really care for it. Let me stop recording here.